Chapter 24.
In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his servant 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. The Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldeans, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the children of Ammon, and sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by his servants the prophets. Surely at the commandment of the Lord did this come to Judah, to remove them out of his sight, for the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did, and also for the innocent blood that he shed, for he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, and the Lord would not pardon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? So Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and Jehoiachin his son reigned in his place. The king of Egypt didn't come out of his land any more, for the king of Babylon had taken, from the brook of Egypt to the river Euphrates, all that pertained to the king of Egypt. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months, and his mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father had done. At that time the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up to Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to the city, while his servants were besieging it. And Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother, and his servants, and his princes, and his officers, and the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign. He carried out all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold, which Solomon king of Israel had made in the temple of the Lord, as the Lord had said. He carried away all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and the smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of the people of the land. He carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and the chief men of the land, he carried into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon. All the men of might, even 7,000, and the craftsmen and the smiths 1,000, all of them strong and ready for war. Even them the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon. The king of Babylon made Mattaniah, Jehoiachin's father's brother, king in his place, and changed his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. The anger of the Lord was poured out in Jerusalem and Judah, until he had cast them out from his presence. Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon.
Chapter 25. It happened, in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came, he and all his army, against Jerusalem, and encamped against it, and they built forts against it round about. So the city was besieged to the 11th year of King Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was great in the city, so that there was no bread for the people of the land. Then a breach was made in the city, and all the men of war fled by night, by the way of the gate between the 2 walls, which was by the king's garden. Now the Chaldeans were against the city round about, and the king went by the way of the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued after the king, and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. Then they took the king, and carried him up to the king of Babylon to Riblah, and they gave judgment on him. They killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him in fetters, and carried him to Babylon. Now in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, to Jerusalem. He burnt the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, even every great house he burnt with fire. All the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem round about. The residue of the people who were left in the city, and those who fell away, who fell to the king of Babylon, and the residue of the multitude, did Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard carry away captive. But the captain of the guard left of the poorest of the land to work the vineyards and fields. The pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the bases, and the brazen sea that were in the house of the Lord, did the Chaldeans break in pieces, and carried the brass of them to Babylon. The pots and the shovels, and the snuffers and the spoons, and all the vessels of brass with which they ministered they took away. The firepans and the basins, that which was of gold in gold, and that which was of silver in silver, the captain of the guard took away. The 2 pillars, the 1 sea and the bases, which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord, the brass of all these vessels could not be measured. The height of the 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and a capital of brass was on it, and the height of the capital was 3 cubits, with network and pomegranates on the capital around it, all of brass, and like to these had the 2nd pillar with networks. The captain of the guard took Sariah the chief priest, and Zephaniah the 2nd priest, and the 3 keepers of the threshold, and out of the city he took an officer who was set over the men of war, and 5 men of those who saw the king's face, who were found in the city, and the scribe, the captain of the host, who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the city. Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard took them, and brought them to the king of Babylon to Riblah. The king of Babylon struck them, and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away captive out of his land. As for the people who were left in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon had left, even over them he made Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, governor. Now when all the captains of the forces, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, they came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, even Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and Sariah the son of Tahumeth the Netophalite, and Jazaniah the son of the Maccathite, they and their men. Gedaliah swore to them and to their men, and said to them, Don't be afraid because of the servants of the Chaldeans. Live in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you. But it happened in the 7th month, that Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, of the royal seed, came with 10 men, and struck Gedaliah so that he died, and the Jews and the Chaldeans that were with him at Mizpah. All the people, both small and great, and the captains of the forces, arose and came to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. It happened in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 27th day of the month, that Evil-Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, did lift up the head of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, out of prison, and he spoke kindly to him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings who were with him in Babylon, and changed his prison garments. Jehoiachin ate bread before him continually all the days of his life, and for his allowance there was a continual allowance given him of the king, every day a portion, all the days of his life. Chapter 1. Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Diphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanim. The sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sapta, and Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush became the father of Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. Mizraim became the father of Ludum, and Ananim, and Lahabim, and Nephtohim, and Pathrusim, and Casluhim, from whence came the Philistines, and Caphtorim. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. The sons of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram, and Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Meshech. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. To Eber were born 2 sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almodad, and Sheleph, and Hazarmapheth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diglah, and Ebal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Shem, Arpachshad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Serug, Nahor, Terah, Abram, the same as Abraham. The sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. These are their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebaioth, then Kedar, then Adbeel, and Mibsam, Mishma, and Duma, Massa, Hadad, and Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael. The sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine. She bore Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Jokshan, Sheba, and Dedan. The sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanak, and Abida, and Eldah. All these were the sons of Keturah. Abraham became the father of Isaac. The sons of Isaac, Esau, and Israel. The sons of Esau, Eliphaz, Ruel, and Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. The sons of Eliphaz, Teman, and Omar, Zephi, and Gatam, Kenaz, and Timnah, and Amalek. The sons of Ruel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Misa. The sons of Seir, Lotan, and Shobal, and Zibeon, and Anna, and Dishon, and Ezer, and Dishan. The sons of Lotan, Hori, and Homam, and Timnah was Lotan's sister. The sons of Shobal, Alian, and Manahath, and Ebal, Shephi, and Onam. The sons of Zibeon, Aiah, and Anna. The sons of Anna, Dishon. The sons of Dishon, Hamran, and Eshban, and Ithran, and Cheran. The sons of Ezer, Bilhan, and Zavan, Jachan. The sons of Dishan, Uz, and Aran. Now these are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom, before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. Bela the son of Beor, and the name of his city was Dinhaba. Bela died, and Jobab the son of Zerah of Bozrah reigned in his place. Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Timonites reigned in his place. Husham died, and Hadad the son of Bedad, who struck Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his place, and the name of his city was Avith. Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his place. Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his place. Shaul died, and Baal-Hanan the son of Achbor reigned in his place. Baal-Hanan died, and Hadad reigned in his place. And the name of his city was Pai, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. Hadad died. The chiefs of Edom were Chief Timnah, Chief Eliah, Chief Jetheth, Chief Hoholibamah, Chief Elah, Chief Pinon, Chief Kenaz, Chief Teman, Chief Mibzar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Imran. These are the chiefs of Edom. Chapter 2. These are the sons of Israel: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar and Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, and Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The sons of Judah, Ir, and Onan, and Shelah, which 3 were born to him of Shua's daughter the Canaanitess. Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he killed him. Tamar his daughter-in-law bore him Perez and Zerah. All the sons of Judah were 5. The sons of Perez, Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Zerah, Zimri and Ethan, and Heman and Calcol and Dara, 5 of them in all. The sons of Carmi, Achar, the troubler of Israel, who committed a trespass in the devoted thing. The sons of Ethan, Azariah. The sons also of Hezron who were born to him, Jerahmeel, and Ram, and Chelabai. Ram became the father of Amminadab, and Amminadab became the father of Nahshon, the prince of the children of Judah. And Nahshon became the father of Salma, and Salma became the father of Boaz, and Boaz became the father of Obed, and Obed became the father of Jesse, and Jesse became the father of his firstborn, Eliab, and Abinadab the second, and Shemaiah the third, Nethanel the fourth, Radai the fifth, Ozem the sixth, David the seventh, and their sisters were Zeruiah and Abigail. The sons of Zeruiah, Abishai and Joab and Asahel, 3. Abigail bore Amasa, and the father of Amasa was Jether the Ishmaelite. Caleb the son of Hezron became the father of children with Azubah his wife, and of Jerioth, and these were her sons, Jesher and Shobab and Ardan. Azubah died, and Caleb took to him Ephrath, who bore him Hur. Hur became the father of Uri, and Uri became the father of Bezalel. Afterward, Hezron went into the daughter of Machir, the father of Gilead, whom he took as a wife when he was 60 years old, and she bore him Segub. Segub became the father of Jair, who had 23 cities in the land of Gilead. Gesher and Aram took the towns of Jair from them, with Kenath and its villages, even 60 cities. All these were the sons of Machir, the father of Gilead. After that Hezron was dead, and Caleb Ephrathah, then Abijah, Hezron's wife, bore him Asher, the father of Tekoa. The sons of Jerahmeel, the firstborn of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, and Bunah, and Oren and Ozem, and Ahijah. Jerahmeel had another wife, whose name was Atara. She was the mother of Onam. The sons of Ram, the firstborn of Jerahmeel, were Maaz, and Jamin, and Eker. The sons of Onam were Shammai and Jada. The sons of Shammai, Nadab and Abishur. The name of the wife of Abishur was Abihail, and she bore him Aban and Molid. The sons of Nadab, Selab and Appaim, but Seled died without children. The sons of Appaim, Ishai. The sons of Ishai, Shishan. The sons of Shishan, Alai. The sons of Jada, the brother of Shammai, Jether and Jonathan, and Jether died without children. The sons of Jonathan, Peleth and Zaza. These were the sons of Jerahmeel. Now Sheshan had no sons, but daughters. Sheshan had a servant, an Egyptian, whose name was Jarha. Sheshan gave his daughter to Jarha his servant as a wife, and she bore him Attai. Attai became the father of Nathan, and Nathan became the father of Zabad, and Zabad became the father of Ephlal, and Ephlal became the father of Obed, and Obed became the father of Jehu, and Jehu became the father of Azariah, and Azariah became the father of Helez, and Helez became the father of Eliashah, and Eliashah became the father of Sismai, and Sismai became the father of Shallum, and Shallum became the father of Jechamiah, and Jechamiah became the father of Elishama. The sons of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, were Misha his firstborn, who was the father of Ziph, and the sons of Marishah, the father of Hebron. The sons of Hebron, Korah, and Tappuah, and Rechem, and Shema. Shema became the father of Raham, the father of Jorkiam, and Rechem became the father of Shammai. The son of Shammai was Maon, and Maon was the father of Besur. Ephah, Caleb's concubine, bore Haran, and Moza, and Gazez, and Haran became the father of Gazez. The sons of Gadai, Regem, and Jotham, and Geshem, and Pelet, and Ephah, and Shaph. Maacah, Caleb's concubine, bore Sheber and Tirhana. She also bore Shaph the father of Madmanah, Sheva the father of Machbenah, and the father of Gibeah. And the daughter of Caleb was Achsah. These were the sons of Caleb, the son of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah. Shobal the father of Kiriath-Jearim, Salma the father of Bethlehem, Hariph the father of Beth-Gader. Shobal the father of Kiriath-Jearim had sons, Haroeh, half of the Manohath. The families of Kiriath-Jearim, the Ithrites and the Puthites and the Shumathites and the Mishraites. Of them came the Zorathites and the Eshtaolites. The sons of Salma, Bethlehem, and the Netophathites, Atroth Beth-Joab, and half of the Manathites, and the Zorites. The families of scribes who lived at Jabez, the Tirathites, the Shemaathites, the Succothites. These are the Kenites who came of Hamath, the father of the house of Rechab.
Brothers and fathers, listen to the defense which I now make to you. When they heard that he spoke to them in the Hebrew language, they were even more quiet. He said, I am indeed a Jew, born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, instructed according to the strict manner of the law of our fathers, being zealous for God, even as you all are this day. I persecuted this way to the death, binding and delivering into prisons both men and women, as also the high priest and all the council of the elders testify, from whom also I received letters to the brothers, and journeyed to Damascus to bring them also who were there to Jerusalem in bonds to be punished. It happened that, as I made my journey, and came close to Damascus, about noon, suddenly there shone from the sky a great light around me. I fell to the ground, and heard a voice saying to me, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? I answered, Who are you, Lord? He said to me, I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you persecute. Those who were with me indeed saw the light and were afraid, but they didn't understand the voice of him who spoke to me. I said, What shall I do, Lord? The Lord said to me, Arise and go into Damascus. There you will be told about all things which are appointed for you to do. When I couldn't see for the glory of that light, being led by the hand of those who were with me, I came into Damascus. One Ananias, a devout man according to the law, well reported of by all the Jews who lived there, came to me, and standing by me said to me, Brother Saul, receive your sight. In that very hour I looked up at him. He said, The God of our fathers has appointed you to know his will, and to see the righteous one, and to hear a voice from his mouth. For you will be a witness for him to all men of what you have seen and heard. Now why do you wait? Arise, be baptized, and wash away your sins, calling on the name of the Lord. It happened that, when I had returned to Jerusalem, and while I prayed in the temple, I fell into a trance, and saw him saying to me, Hurry, and get out of Jerusalem quickly, because they will not receive testimony concerning me from you. I said, Lord, they themselves know that I imprisoned and beat in every synagogue those who believed in you. When the blood of Stephen your witness was shed, I also was standing by, and consenting to his death, and guarding the cloaks of those who killed him. He said to me, Depart, for I will send you out far from here to the Gentiles. They listened to him until he said that. Then they lifted up their voice and said, Rid the earth of this fellow, for he isn't fit to live. As they cried out and threw off their cloaks, and threw dust into the air, the commanding officer commanded him to be brought into the barracks, ordering him to be examined by scourging, that he might know for what crime they shouted against him like that. When they had tied him up with thongs, Paul asked the centurion who stood by, Is it lawful for you to scourge a man who is a Roman and not found guilty? When the centurion heard it, he went to the commanding officer and told him, Watch what you are about to do, for this man is a Roman. The commanding officer came and asked him, Tell me, are you a Roman? He said, Yes. The commanding officer answered, I bought my citizenship for a great price. Paul said, But I was born a Roman. Immediately those who were about to examine him departed from him, and the commanding officer also was afraid when he realized that he was a Roman, because he had bound him. But on the next day, desiring to know the truth about why he was accused by the Jews, he freed him from the bonds, and commanded the chief priest and all the council to come together, and brought Paul down and set him before them.
Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who doesn't walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in Yahweh's law. On his law he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree planted by the streams of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also does not wither. Whatever he does shall prosper. The wicked are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage, and the peoples plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth take a stand, and the rulers take counsel together, against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, Let's break their bonds apart, and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens will laugh. The Lord will have them in derision. Then he will speak to them in his anger, and terrify them in his wrath. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will tell of the decree. Yahweh said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask of me, and I will give the nations for your inheritance, the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, you kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way, for his wrath will soon be kindled. Blessed are all those who take refuge in him. Psalm 3. A psalm by David, when he fled from Absalom his son. Yahweh, how my adversaries have increased! Many are those who rise up against me. Many are they who say of my soul, There is no help for him in God. But you, Yahweh, are a shield around me, my glory and the one who lifts up my head. I cry to Yahweh with my voice, and he answers me out of his holy hill. I laid myself down and slept. I awakened, for Yahweh sustains me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me on every side. Arise, Yahweh, save me, my God, for you have struck all of my enemies on the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to Yahweh. Your blessing be on your people.
He who gives answer before he hears, that is folly and shame to him. A man's spirit will sustain him in sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? The heart of the discerning gets knowledge, the ear of the wise seeks knowledge.